subscribe for more.
I never imagined divorce would arrive quietly, without shouting or broken plates. I married Lila believing commitment meant endurance, patience, and steady effort. I wasn't chasing fireworks. I wanted warmth, routine, and trust. For years I worked logistics, paid bills, planned weekends, fixed what broke. People called me dependable. Lila once said that steadiness made her feel safe. Somewhere along the way, safety turned into distance. Conversations shortened. Touch disappeared. Smiles felt rehearsed. I told myself marriages age, desire fades, responsibilities grow. Still, nights felt longer, silence heavier, and I began wondering when partnership became solitude inside my own home. I noticed it in small moments first. She'd scroll through her phone while I talked, nodding without hearing. Kisses landed on cheeks, quick and distracted. When I reached for her at night, she shifted away, claiming exhaustion. I never accused. I adapted. I cooked more, listened harder, planned trips she canceled last minute. I thought effort would revive affection. Instead, it taught her I'd accept less. I wasn't angry, just confused. I felt like a roommate funding a life I wasn't invited into anymore. Love didn't explode. It eroded, grain by grain, until emptiness felt normal. The confirmation arrived accidentally, like truths often do. One afternoon, a restaurant receipt slipped from her purse. 2 entrees, wine, dessert. A place we used to love. I asked casually who she went with. She didn't flinch. Said she met a friend. The lie sat between us, obvious and unchallenged. That night, I slept on my side of the bed, staring at the ceiling, realizing I wasn't asking whether she was faithful anymore. I was asking whether I respected myself enough to stop pretending. By morning, clarity replaced hope. I called a lawyer during my lunch break. I didn't confront her immediately. I needed certainty, not chaos. The lawyer confirmed what my instincts already knew. Evidence mattered. Timing mattered. Dignity mattered most. Over the next weeks, I learned more than I wanted. Late nights. Familiar name. Brandon Cole. No dramatic scenes, no shouting matches. Just facts stacking neatly, forming an exit. I felt strangely calm, like grief had already done its worst. I wasn't planning revenge. I wanted finality. When the papers were ready, my lawyer asked how I wanted them delivered. I surprised myself by saying I'd handle it. I knew where she'd be. The same restaurant, Friday evening. I arrived early, sat at the bar, ordered water. When they walked in together, she laughed the way she used to with me. That hurt more than the affair itself. They took a table near the window. I waited until menus closed, until comfort settled in. Then I stood, folder in hand, heart steady. I approached quietly. Lila looked up first, confusion melting into recognition. I said her name once, calmly, and placed the envelope between their glasses. You've been served. The room didn't explode. No one screamed. Brandon froze, halfway through a sip. Lila's face drained of color. She whispered my name like a question. I didn't answer. I met her eyes, searching for guilt or apology, finding neither. Just shock. I nodded politely to Brandon, turned, and walked out. My hands trembled only after the door closed behind me. Outside, air filled my lungs like permission. I sat in my car for a moment, letting the weight lift. I hadn't embarrassed her. I'd ended a lie in public because it had lived privately for too long. That night she called repeatedly. I didn't answer. Text followed, swinging between anger and pleading. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. At home, I slept better than I had in years. The quiet felt honest, not heavy. Over the next days, narratives formed quickly. Her friends called me cruel, said I humiliated her. I disagreed silently. Affairs thrive on secrecy. Consequences feel humiliating only when exposed. I hadn't raised my voice or insulted her. I'd simply refused to protect a betrayal that depended on my silence to survive. People assume leaving means hatred. It didn't. I still cared about the woman I married, not the one she became when she decided my presence was optional. Delivering those papers wasn't about winning. It was about ending a chapter with my spine intact. I didn't beg for love that required competition. I didn't negotiate respect. I chose clarity over comfort, dignity over denial. Walking away hurt, but staying would have hollowed me out completely. Some endings arrived loudly. Mine arrived with a glass of water, a thin envelope, and the quiet certainty that I would be okay.